We would work hard on ideas that would change the world. We believed in imagination, creativity, and most of all, vision. Even those oldsters who were in their 40s and 50s at the time were filled with youthful energy of the place. We played and partied together. Does anybody remember the Beat? This was a bar that was around where the Oliver Hotel is, and the tail had come off the arm, so it read, instead of beer, it's red meat. We dated one another. Some of us married, some of us divorced, some of us remarried Whittle-ites. I fell in love with Randall Duckett, 1330er, in 1982, and May 24th is our 30th anniversary. At Whittle, we met not only co-workers and friends, but people who would over time become loved ones. That made the times when we faced death all the harder. Like all of us, or most of us, my memory over the last 20 or 30 years is a little bit fuzzy. So forgive me if I made a mistake, because I kind of recall what went on. I do want to thank Kathy Hall and Becky Manhamlin for the help in trying to assure that the list on your program was accurate. It was a lot harder than you think to track down names. Katie Hall actually went through the mastheads of 30-year-old magazines to get that. One of my earliest memories of 1330 was weeping at the death of editorial administrative assistant Mary Ann Deal, who died on the ice at the ice chalet, just up dead. Later came Chuck Dean, whose name was called out by the Indigo Girls on the World's Fair lawn, and Nan Trotter, who played When the Lights Go Down in the City about her beloved city of San Francisco at her funeral. I remember John Hall joyfully riding a bicycle. He won at a baseball game, a 25-cent beer night, and riding it behind the stands that we were all sitting in. And it's sad that we lost the first couple of music at Whittle, Martha Hume and Chet Capone. James T. Kugler, an honorary Whittle-ite, sparked excitement every time he came in with a chrome. Now, does anybody remember what a chrome was? I recall Margaret Heffernan is a proud person, and Warren Guy is having the perfect name for his personality. He was a real guy. Sam Mount was a consummate Southerner, very kind man. And I remember beautiful Vanessa Brown, who was so proud of her kids. Tom Russell was a terrific person and a great art director and was loved by many people at Whittle. And thanks to Whittle, I got to hang out with Jimmy Carter's chief of staff, Hamilton Jordan. And it always seemed like Captain Henry Wolfenbarger was willing to take a bullet for us over at the Arnstein building. Monica Smith, Ken's wife, and Catherine Wingate, Ricky's bride, and all the others are missed mightily. Trish Bell, Laura Heffernan Bradley, Jim Crampton, Betsy Dossett, Anita Ellison, Diana Tracy Hammonds, Linda Goulet Hovis Hudson, John Kennedy, Susan Diane Kassir, Pamela Lawson, who was Pam Cinnamon at the time, Carol Madden, Joe Mann, Tim Margraf, Mary Marshburn, Lori Mayer, Dan Morse, the executive chef, John Jack Rose, Rick Tate, Tammy Shockley, Sharon Thornton, Lisa Wells, Evelyn Sue Gillespie Woods. Transition. I honor them all as we meet tonight, and please forgive me for not having the remembrance of everyone. Those people were sons and daughters, sisters and brothers, mothers and fathers who were deeply loved by their friends and family, including the 1330 Whittle family. I do want to make special mention of two people who were like family to Mary Ellen and my three daughters. They were also key characters in the company's story and touched so many at 1330 and Whittle while they were there and afterward. It was a shocking event when we lost both of them in one weekend last August. Keith Bellows and Shelley Williams were part of my lives for more than 30 years. Shelley was one of the early 1330ers and dated back to the Pillow Factory. We loved her kind heart and gentle soul, and the way she touched so much of the design that the company produced. She had longtime friends from high school in Oak Ridge, from the University of Tennessee, both as a student and an instructor, and from the cancer community in town. She was always there for her son Adam, who's here tonight, and you should say hello to him. Mary Ellen, my wife, and Shelley were so close that Shelley knew I was having a baby before I knew. The word that I think about the word that I picture when I think about her is lovely. She was just a lovely person. And her ex-husband Keith was a real force of nature, bullying his way through life, filled with supreme confidence despite his insecurities, and bristling with big ideas. He was a person who mentored so many, including myself. I remember us going to dive bars throughout the country for Sports Page, one of the Whittle publications. One time we were on a business trip, we swam in the ocean at Wingaseek Beach near Gloucester, Massachusetts. We used to mix it up on the floor of his A-frame in Seymour. We called it rug wrestling. He gave me the opportunity to write for National Geographic, as he did for many other former Whittle-ites and 1330ers. Even though he became a famous travel writer, he stayed in touch with many of us and never forgot his 1330 Whittle roots. He was a loving father to Adam, Mackenzie, and Chase, and I miss him every day. And I confess, I love the guy. I mean no respect to others by going into a little bit more detail about Keith and Shelley. It's just that they were so well known and loved by many people in our community. Some think of this list as sad. The list on your program is sad, especially because so many people died too young when you look at the list. But I prefer to think of the list as a celebration of the special spirit that we all shared at 1330 Whittle. We did love one another, and we were on a special mission together. I guess you could call us a band of brothers and sisters. Please take just a few seconds of silence to remember these people. And we'll do it for about 10 or 15 seconds. Thank you. As long as I'm not on the list, I intend to post it each Memorial Day. The idea is not only to track our former colleagues, but to keep alive a special time in our lives. We worked together, we lived, we bonded for life, we were young together.